I really felt after looking at their schedule compared to everyone else's. I think they're a great team. I think their defense is elite, and it is on like the same level as like the Broncos. As who else has this? The Packers. Like I think they can. I think they could totally be like that in the playoffs.
Can't say the Packers.
The Packers have Devontae Wyatt and Lucas Van Ness back. I mean, this is the fully healthy.
They haven't had a dominant defensive outing yet, though.
They held the Lions to 6 points through like 45 minutes.
Week 1. Week 8,
it's this season. Are we only measuring 3 weeks back? Like it happened. It's the truth.
And what have they done since then? They've been trash.
I mean,
I know this. I have them in fantasy, and I'm about to cut them. That's how bad they've been.
The Packers defense wasn't playing that great until they played well in this Steelers game. The Steelers offense is not like a terrible offense. This is a veteran quarterback who's got some weapons and a good OC, and they couldn't operate through the pressure. And the secondary isn't good. But if the pressure's getting there, it really doesn't matter. You can actually flip that into baiting people to target your secondary and targets that really shouldn't be there. Like you shouldn't be throwing that ball. But since you go in with that game plan, you end up throwing an interception because you think, well, I can't do anything else. I'm going to get sacked. But either way, I'm digressing a little bit. It's the fact that I feel like
you would think with the pass rush from the Packers, they would force more interceptions. They have 2 interceptions all season.
And that's my next point is the fact that like I said again, it's like things snowballed. It's like there's like we all know the concept of like complementary football. It's like the Packers were able to get Tucker Kraft on tight ends day to be an absolute hoss all game. And what's that happen? Allows your defense to breathe, allows the opposing team's offense to have to feel like they have to keep rushing out there over and over again because your defense can't hold it. And guess what? It's like you are not able to go and develop a game plan. Even though yes, he's a veteran quarterback, but DK Metcalf was flustered. Kenneth Gainwell. Listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. As an Eagles fan, I don't remember the last time I saw Kenneth Gainwell fumble, and he fumbled that game. Like, so it's like there were things that were happening that I'm like are not normal, which is what I'm saying.
But we're not gonna credit the Packers for that. This is what I'm saying. I feel like we're going out of our way to say anything but the Packers had a good defensive out or the Packers played a great game versus the Steelers. It was like I do get it. I do think the Steelers didn't play a great game, but like I don't think it's not like they were lining up against garbage cans.
I blame Mike Tomlin because he just wanted to kick a field goal every fucking drive. He just wanted the field goal every time. He didn't want to go for it on 4th down or anything. He was just settled for the field goal. And Mike Tomlin played that game not to lose. He didn't play to win. That's what it came down to. Then the Packers ran away with it in the 3rd quarter.
Well, that's what good teams do. And this is not a bad Steelers team. I mean, this is a team that we were highlighting this game.
No, I thought this defense was going to absolutely start destroying people. The Steelers defense and
yeah,
they were getting
getting burnt. Their defense has been getting burnt by everybody too, though, to a certain extent.
Well, and I would just like.
And this comes down to me. This was just like the Rodgers versus Love game. That's why there was so much built up emotion to it. That's why we saw Jordan Love's best outing of the game. Best outing of the season, I would say.
I was just about to say, if you got this much bad to say about the Packers defense, I'd like you to find me what's wrong with their offense. And to be honest, like the only hole on this entire team is special teams and the secondary. That's it. That's pretty minuscule. There's like a whole bunch of ways this team can go about winning a football game, and that just it's just parallels to what the Eagles were. That it's gonna be ugly sometimes, but the truth of the matter is they could have won this Steelers game probably 3 different ways if they wanted to. I mean, you said it yourself. On National Tight Ends Day, they had the freedom on offense to really go out of their way to target him. I mean, he's a great player, but it really seems...
He's their best offensive player, so I don't think tight end has anything to do with it.
Well,
he's
they
their
had
best
Christian Watson
player.
back, and he had a big day too.
Christian Watson's done nothing his whole career.
Well, he's playing. He played really well in that game. And
Christian Watson been there periodically. Okay, let's not shit on him.
Yeah,
he's been there periodically.
He has one good game
like 10
between him and Romeo Dobbs. They're clearly the dudes who outperform everybody. Like when Jaden
Yeah.
Reed's there, he sauces. Like, I don't disagree with you that Matthew Golden was absolutely wild of a pick. I think that was just for clout because I don't know what this dude has done yet, really, if I'm gonna be straight up
You got
honest.
He's
picked by
played.
the
He's
speed.
played. He's
Yeah.
played well. He's been a good separator.
How many yards did he have?
He's been.
How
You
many
know
yards
what?
did he have?
He's been overthrown by Jordan Love multiple times. He's been getting
And what is he known
open.
for?
He's known
He's known
for
for speed. He's getting overthrown.
No, he's known for
He's
route
known for his
running.
speed, he's
He's a
getting
route
overthrown.
runner. He's not like a
He's
Jalen
trash.
Hyatt.
He's a bust.
No,
He's
go
not
look
good.
at go. Well, I'll pull it. I'm pulling this
Scott.
up for next week. I'm gonna get his separation stats ready. I'm gonna show you guys that he's not
Oh,
just this
I've seen that
combine
before.
demon.
I've seen separation stats. The first player I think of is AD Mitchell. How's he doing?
I'm not
Yo,
changing
yo.
the subject to AD Mitchell. I'm trying to tell you Matthew Golden.
You're
is
talking
not
about
just a
you're talking about
speedster.
separation stats. First guy you see in separation
I was
stats,
so
yards per
hyped.
game. It's
I
AD
was so
Mitchell.
hyped for Adonai Mitchell, bro. I
Yeah,
was so hyped for
but
him.
I don't know what he has to do with whether or not Matthew Golden is capable of anything
You're
besides
talking
running
about
a
the
4.29.
separation stat thing.
And
You
you're
brought up
trying to say
separation stat.
because AD Mitchell has good separation that like because he's not
When's
worked
the
out
last
for
time
some
Matthew
reason.
Golden's had a 100-yard game? When's the last time?
I don't know. You said it in the beginning, but it's not relevant to me.
Yeah.
It's not.
How's that not relevant to you? You
Because-
talk about him being a number
because
one
you have
receiver. He hasn't had
dudes-
100 yards in 5 years.
Because you could have a dude on Alabama who's going to have a 100-yard game and not get drafted into the NFL because he's on a great team. But if he's on this other team that doesn't produce more than 150 passing yards per game for like the dude's entire college tenure, then I'm not going to blame
He didn't go
him
to-
for not having a
years.
100-yard game because the standards at colleges are different. I mean, we know this, but anyway, I'm just trying to say
Feels like a lot of
there's
coach-
enough to
listen.
like. There is not a team probably in the NFL right now, I think, that has a better combination of a great offense and a great defense. I think maybe the Rams, the Lions, their defense I don't think is on the same level as the Packers. I think we know that, but the offense is so great. And then the Chiefs, we know what they're capable of. So to me, and that's what carries teams through the playoffs is being able to win on offense, on defense, having that great coach. They got it. I mean, whether you like it or not, they have it. Like, and not
Detroit's
a team-
defense has been a lot better than the Packers this year. So is the Rams.
Whose defense?
Detroit.
Oh,
They've been a lot better than Green Bay.
How were they week one?
Dude, all you keep bringing up is week one. Like we don't have a whole 8-game slate to look at.
Yeah, we do have a whole 8-game slate to look at, but you can't. I will look at every single one of those games, and I won't ignore a single one of them, including week one.
You're putting more stock in the outlier game than what you've seen in the other 7 games.
An outlier game, it's a divisional matchup. We've seen it many times. It's not like it was some random thing. The Lions knew what
Are
they
you
were
the same
walking
team in
into.
September that you are in October, November, December? Or are you the same team from
No,
September?
you're not. But you are closer to the
Okay.
team you were in week one than
No, you're not.
you didn't. You don't even know what I'm gonna say. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. You didn't even let him finish your point.
You
though.
don't
I'm
know
not
what
gonna lie
I'm
there,
saying.
Joey.
I heard you say
I'm-
you're the closer to the team you are in week one. I was like, that's a lie.
I'm
You think
saying-
of Detroit
I'm
last
trying
year,
to
they had
say-
all third-string defensive players starting.
You're acting like the team from week one is completely gone. But I would place it like this. In Super Bowl week, you should be going back all the way back to week one to try to see what were all the tendencies that this team had, what were they capable of when they were fully healthy, because maybe they are, maybe they aren't by the Super Bowl, but it helps you look at what matchups that were there week one, and then you could cross off a few injured names and say, okay, here's our new list of matchups and things and ways we can beat and expose this team. So I absolutely think if I'm anyone who's going up against the Detroit Lions and I'm trying to pull up film for my defense, I'm pulling up the Packers film from week one. Okay? But the point I'm making here is you are not who you were week one because of injuries and development of players and changing game plans. You're not. You're correct. But you are way more what you were week one than you're describing it as. It's like week one doesn't reflect at all what these teams are. Like it tells something about who you are, for sure.
You sound like a Green Bay apologist right now. That's what you sound like.
I'm not they're 5-1-1. I'm not apologizing. It's not like they just lost. They just won by 2 scores on primetime against a potential playoff team. Like, this is what a Super Bowl
All
caliber
I'm
team
saying-
does.
Their defense is ranked 25th right now, and you act like they're a top 3 to 5 defense.
And it's like, Scott, I know you bring up like week to week and everything like that, but they also let up 18 points against, like, it was a close game against the Bengals. You know what I mean? So that's why to me it's
They had one
like,
sack against the Bengals O-line. You always want to talk about Joe Burrow, how bad the O-line is. They had one sack against that O-line.
Yeah, and that was crazy. Flacco was balling, but there's no excuse for that from that defense, even if they did have injuries through some of these weeks. But if we're looking at the schedule for this Packers team, I will assign value to each of these games just for you guys, just so you can kind of understand where my head's at. The week one win over the Lions, impressive. Something I'm not gonna forget, and I'm not
I'll
gonna
give
write
you
off.
that.
That's
I will give you that.
that's a
That is
game I would
a
wait.
fair statement.
I would wait for every other team
Scott,
in the
if
league.
that's something-
Hold on, let me get through like at least 2 games. All right, let me get through at least 2 of the 7 before you jump in. I promise I will let you spew right after. I'll let you say whatever you want. Just let me establish that like that's a game for any other team if they beat the Lions. If whether it was week 1 or week 18, I'm gonna remember it. Week 2 versus the Commanders, they dominated them. The Commanders didn't have any injuries yet. So that was an impressive win to me. Not as impressive as the Lions win, but they did it the same way. And then the Browns lost. To me, kind of fluky, but you shouldn't let that happen. They played that game not to lose, and they lost because of it. I thought that was a very rare malpractice by Matt LaFleur and their game plan, and very poor performance by the Packers offense, not their defense. Their defense was good. And then I believe it was in that game where they had the injuries to Van Ness and Wyatt, and you play the Cowboys. Now the Cowboys don't have CeeDee Lamb either. This to me was a disappointing game for the Packers. You should not, regardless, be letting up 40 points to this Cowboys team. But it seemed without some of those trench guys, the Cowboys offensive line was able to do what they wanted. Because of that, Dak was able to operate. And you got a nice showdown. And then you see, okay, for the first time, we haven't scored more than 27 points this year. We scored 10 points last week. We can score 40 points. We can expose your bad defense because we can do anything because we're the Packers. And then the Bengals. Okay, you guys are talking about how close this game. It was 27-18 by the end of the game. It's like the same score as the Commanders game. It's just almost the same score as the Lions game. I get it probably was close at one point, but they still managed to win. Should they have won better? Yeah, but the Bengals have surprised a lot of teams this year. That's my thoughts. Packers, Cardinals. Yep, game was closer than it should have been.
Jets.
Yeah, but they also played the same level of competition against. You're talking about the Bengals, I know, but I'm talking about the Cardinals. They played like this against the Colts with Brissett, and this game went exactly the same way. So I'm gonna say okay, the Brissett Pastronaut thing happened. I don't think it's going to last. Kyler's supposed to be back this week. But not an impressive win, but a win that they did get. And then 35-25 over the Steelers. It's like, which way do you want it? Do you want the offense? Do you want the defense? Whatever your team stinks at the most, we're going to win that way. And if we're better than you on both sides, it looks like the Steelers game. They have a better defense than the Steelers and a better offense. So that's kind of like how I'm following this season so far. It's like, yeah, I am kind of waiting for them to cancel out that Browns loss and the Cowboys game. But that Lions win, honestly, to me, can give me that reassurance, and I can ride that until they play the Eagles November 10th on Monday night, which should be a game that, tells us 3 a lot because of how much we talk about these two teams. And then they got the Lions later on, the Broncos, the Ravens. Like that's good. They're going to face challenges where I will be more willing to move them up or down, but it's games like that Lions game, these elite teams that I look at, that I wait for, that mean the most to me.
My question kind of comes from, because I know everybody is extremely shaky with how the Eagles are playing ever since we lost to the Giants the way we did. But we also, like you said, did not have, and we should not lose regardless of the people that we lost on defense. And it's like the Packers were all healthy at the time. I understand they're saying like Mike has got some form of back problem, back strain, back something, but it's like he still played that game, and they lost to the Browns. Like, why is it that I guess the narrative for the Packers is like they're still solid, even though they also lost the game they definitely should not have?
I got 2 reasons. So I'll say the Browns' loss is inexcusable. First, I'll say that from a team standpoint. But I did kind of lay out. It's like, and if you remember, there was a blocked field goal in that game that gave the Browns the field position to score the touchdown that they did. That defense would have shut them out. Okay, so it was the offense and the coaching to me where it was really like kind of in question in that Browns game. I was shocked by that, and I said, okay, I need to see that this was more of a bad coaching job and game plan than it was who they are. And I think over the past couple games, they've proven that their offense, is a lot more explosive and more capable than what we saw in that Browns game. So that's kind of my number one reason. And then same thing with the Cowboys game. It's like the defense shouldn't be that bad. But I think they've shown us across the season that, when they are dialed in, there are a few that are better than them on the defensive side. But when you're comparing them to the Eagles, I think that's fair. I do. But I'll tell you kind of why I have more faith in this Packers team.
I have multiple things to add.
And this is all I really got left to say, and maybe you're gonna say something along these lines, but there was a 2023 Eagles season where, because the coordinators weren't there, we saw it fall apart. The coordinators were great last year. It all came together. The coordinators this year, well, it's a question on the offensive side and just kind of the repeatability of a season like that where it all seems to need to be there. But the Packers, to me, when they had their bad year, that was last year. Jordan Love started the year injured. They were down to like their fifth wide receiver in the playoffs, and they still played the Eagles really close. It wasn't like this collapsing loss like you guys had to the Buccaneers. So essentially, I'm saying the range of outcomes for the Eagles, I think, is a lot wider. They have such a high ceiling. The Packers haven't gotten there yet, but the floor is also way lower. I think the Packers kind of raised their ceiling with the Micah move this offseason, so I think they're kind of in that range of outcomes where I think they have a higher floor and the same ceiling as the Eagles at their best. So that's kind of why I feel that way.
I got multiple things for you. So the Browns are considered one of the best defenses in football, right?
Yeah.
And the Browns beat the Packers.
They did.
Do you know who cooked the Browns? Drake May and the Patriots.
Okay.
So I would say it's a good W for Drake May. Stood in the pocket. He took 5 sacks from Myles Garrett, dropped nearly 40 on those guys. Number 2, is the AFC North one of the worst? Is the AFC North the worst division in football?
Maybe at the moment, but it's not going to stay that way. It's going to be the NFC.
I want to say that way. They have the Bengals and the Browns.
Well,
in their,
the Bengals have played okay with Flacco. They're going to have Lamar back on the Ravens. The Steelers we know they're not bad. And then the Browns, they have this elite defense that can literally beat a team like the Packers. Whereas I feel like the NFC North, it's like Panthers, Saints, Falcons, Buccaneers. Buccaneers are the only team that I'm really afraid of in that division.
You said NFC North. It's NFC South.
NFC South. Thank you, Dan.
Got you.
Number 3. So let me ask you this, Scott. You put in all your eggs in this basket, how they beat the Lions week 1.
Yeah.
Why doesn't your rankings show that? Why do you have the Lions over the Packers when you're hanging your hat on the Packers win against the Lions? Why is that?
Question. It's a really good question. So
you're contradicting yourself with what you're saying.
Well, no. So
let me answer.
So okay. So that's an awesome question, and it really is, and I could tell you exactly why, because I did think about this, and there's a reason. So the reason is because yes, the Packers beat the Lions week 1. They did do that. Now, do I think there was an element of catching them off guard and it being week 1? I do. I agree. It is just week 1. But it is there.
We've been trying to tell you this whole time.
Now, let me continue. It's still, I know now moving forward in this season that the Packers have every opportunity to dominate the Lions, and I don't know that the Lions can dominate the Packers. I think they can win against the Packers, but I don't know that they can dominate. But I know the Lions can play everyone else. The Lions, in their losses, have lost to this Packers team and the Chiefs. So that's the only 2 games they have lost to me are to elite teams. And their 2 best wins against the Buccaneers and Ravens are against elite teams. I haven't seen that from the Packers yet outside of them beating the Lions. And the other 2 best wins being the Steelers and Commanders, it's like, okay, I'm still waiting for that. Like, you beat the Rams. You beat the Colts.
Team.
Right? And then their losses are to that Browns team. Okay? Now, that is their only technical loss. But I will include the Dallas game as an underperformance in the tie. So I see more vulnerability from the Packers than I do from the Lions. I see more consistency from the Lions. I think the ceiling, though, with the Packers is higher because of the talent that they have on both sides of the ball. And then I think Jordan Love has the potential to be a better quarterback than Jared Goff. And I think LaFleur is a better, and their group is a better coach and coaching staff than the Lions have, as great as they've been. So essentially my reasons are Packers have a higher ceiling and range of outcomes with the head coach and the quarterback and the talent. It's just not so consistently there, where that's exactly what we know the Lions for. I know every week the Lions are who they're gonna show up and be. I don't know that about the Packers. So that's why they rank higher right now, because I think they have a better chance to go like all the way in like a law of averages. It's just not what I'm projecting like for my actual Super Bowl pick. But for the time being, it's like I can't deny that the Lions have been the second best team in football. Does that answer? Do you feel like there was anything I said that like was kind of confusing?
I don't feel any better about your list with how you're defending the Packers.
Okay. I feel like that was fairly sound. But there's no talent thing I have on my notes list. So maybe I'll have to do a top 10